Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Mechwarrior Online, and this is a Nova build. Essentially this can be built obviously on every single Nova thanks to how omnipods function in this game. However, I am running it on Nova Prime because you can do this on Nova Prime without changing away from the stock, the default omnipods. 4 medium lasers in each arm and then the rest filled with the heatsinks and maybe a targeting computer Mark 1 if you are so inclined. You have to drop a little bit of armor, that is 18 points to be precise, to fit in exact tonnage for all the double heatsinks and so on. So, firstly I'll have to ask, is this build better than actually just smacking 6 medium lasers into one arm and using the other side of your mech as pure shield? In all honesty, I am not 100% sure this is better than doing that. So if you just want full mode effectiveness, you might want to do that, alright? However, I happen to enjoy this build better, that I have to say, because I find Nova loses its arms rather fast. It is gorilla arms and so on, and Nova is also not very fast mech. It is kinda agile with having good jumping capabilities and such, but it is not fast, so you cannot really run away from threats very well. That's one reason why you are losing arms fast, because many people also know that, well, all the Nova's big guns are typically in the arms, so they shoot at the arms too, if they wanna strip you instead of just wanting to try to kill you. So yeah, there is that, which is why I personally spread the medium laser into each arm and run away with that. So yeah, how does this build function at its best? Well, obviously you fire 4 medium lasers, give it a half a second break so there is no ghost hit, and then you fire the other 4 medium lasers. That's essentially how it goes, and if you are starting to threaten to overheating, then you start, you know, firing. If you can't go and, you know, hide for cooling down a bit, or whatever other way you can have for cooling down, such as using consumables, whatever else, you just start firing those medium lasers in a chain fire one by one. It also functions and adds damage in to things still. You don't have to all fight out all the time. And the nice thing about having 8 medium lasers instead of like having 12 of them, which you could obviously do as well, is that you can actually alpha all 8 of them and still have a little bit of heat over to do some, you know, chain fire medium lasers or run and jump away and whatnot, what have you. Overall, this build so far has been very well functioning for me. As a second line support, that's essentially what Nova does very well. It has a lot of hard points for a lot of things, and then you can fire away from the relative safety of hiding within your team or just behind your team or, well, what have you, for the situation at hand. Don't go out there trying to dual light mechs with this setup. You don't have the heat efficiency to dual out light mechs. You will overheat. That is not a good thing. Nor does this thing really have the punch to actually tackle on an assault mech or most heavy mechs even on its own. You really need to stay with the group, support them, focus fire with them with this particular build, and so on. In general, that is a good idea anyway, but when you are running a build like this, yeah. As for targeting computer Mark 1, this is something you need to personally, you know, fiddle around with to see if it's for you. I would say that typically it is a good thing to put in the targeting computer Mark 1, but that extra heatsink in a build which runs this hot might actually be better. It depends on your personal preference. The targeting computer obviously adds extra range to the medium lasers, so you can have a little bit more leeway to hang back and shoot or whatnot. But that extra heatsink allows you to fire more often, or fire more in essence, to do more damage. It doesn't seem like a lot to have one extra heatsink only, but it will add up. So yeah. Fiddle around between those two to figure out which one is for you. I toyed around with it quite well, and my personal feeling at the moment is to not run the targeting computer. but that's just me, alright? And also I have to mention I have not taken this build to Community Warfare. I have no reason to bring Nova into Community Warfare, so I really didn't see the point of ever taking this thing with me there. So it's been only played in the public queue with other people playing whatever random mechs and whatnot. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful and maybe you learned a new Nova build to try out for your Nova playing.